welcome to my channel E-Learning Zone. We are today doing the poem Amanda by Robert Klein, NCERT, First Flight, Poem 6. Before we move further, make sure you have subscribed to our channel and have hit the bell notification icon to receive the latest updates from us. So this is the poem Amanda. It's a 7-stanza poem. Before starting, I would recommend you all to open your textbooks and with a pencil jot down the important points, meanings and explanations. So let's start with the explanation now. So before we start with the introduction of the poem, let's do a small brief intro about the poet. This is Robert Klein. Robert Klein is an Australian author of books for children. Born in 1936 in Australia, she now resides near Melbourne. She has received Human Rights Awards for literature and also won CBCA Children's Book of the Year Award. The poem is about a small girl named Amanda who is constantly being instructed by her mother for something or the other. Constant nagging irritates the girl. Her mother was pointing out each and every small thing. She was correcting Amanda every time and again. So the basic thing about the poem is it focuses on the struggles of the young girl who was constantly being pointed by her mother for making mistakes. She is nagged most of the time by the elders, and she often tries to escape from the reality and goes into a fantasy world as a girl of her age would do. The poem tells us about how a small girl, Amanda, deals with the struggle of constantly being instructed by her mother. Her freedom is detained, which Amanda never liked. Every child wants to enjoy their freedom, do things without being judged or corrected for their actions by their elders every time and again. The children don't want to be corrected again and again. So this poem is about a girl, Amanda, who wants freedom in life but is constantly being corrected and instructed by her elders to follow the norms, customs, rules of the society that is set for the girls. She wants to be free and to escape her mother's constant nagging. For escaping that constant nagging, she goes into the imaginary world where she could do what she wants to. Basically, this poem is highlighting the struggles a child is facing while they are growing up. Okay, so now let's begin with the explanation part of the poem. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. There is a languid emerald sea where the sole inhabitant is me, a mermaid drifting blissfully. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. So now here, this is a girl, a little girl who is being guided by her mother. Mother tells, mother or the elder, it's not mentioned who is guiding. But we take it because it is a girl and the girls are being trained by their mothers mostly. So we take it as if it is a mother who is guiding her daughter. Don't bite your nails, Amanda. She's telling her not to bite her nails. Don't hunch your shoulders. Don't sit with a bent shoulder. Don't bend while you are sitting. Sit straight, sit upright, Amanda. Stop that slouching and sit up straight, Amanda. Slouching means don't be lazy. Don't sit in a bad posture. Maintain your posture. Sit properly. This is what the mother is telling the little girl, Amanda. There is a languid emerald sea. Now see here, this stanza is written in parenthesis. So while the mother is scolding the little girl is imagining. She has gone into a deep imagination. She thinks that she imagines that she is into a deep green sea, an emerald sea. She is relaxing there, where the sole inhabitant is me. She is the only lone survivor there. She is the only person there who is in that green emerald sea, a mermaid drifting blissfully. She imagines herself to be the fairy character mermaid, and she is moving freely into that deep, relaxing green sea. Then again she hears what her mother is instructing her. Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. So she is hearing what her mother is saying. That did you finish your homework? Have you done your homework? What you got today? Have you done your homework? Did you tidy your room? Did you clean up with your room? Have you done cleaning up your room? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. And then her mother is saying that she thinks that she has already told her to clean the shoes, to tidy her shoes as well. So this is the instruction that the mother is giving the little girl. I am an orphan, roaming the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. Don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Remember your acne, Amanda. Will you please look at me when I am speaking to you, Amanda? Now here, this stanza is in the parenthesis. That means again the little girl Amanda is thinking about, this is what her thought is. I am an orphan roaming in the street. She thinks that she is like an orphan. She is an orphan. Orphan means a child without the parents. So she thinks that she is an orphan who is roaming freely in the streets. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. And she wants to make with the dust that is there on the streets, she wants to make patterns with her bare feet. She thinks that the silence is golden and the freedom is sweet. For her, she does not want to be nagged, instructed by her mother again and again. For her, she feels that silence is golden and the freedom is sweet. And she wants to taste the sweetness of the freedom. She is happy when she is free. She is happy when no one is instructing her. So she does not want to listen to her mother's instructions. She imagines herself to be an orphan. And she thinks that if she was an orphan, she would have been happy. She would have been free. There would have been no one to be constantly telling her what to do and what not. Don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Now the mother, the elder there is instructing her not to eat the chocolate. Why? Because it is said that if you eat more sweets, if you eat more chocolates, you will develop more acne, more pimples. So she is of that age. She is the girl who is elder the childhood, and she is entering into she is not entered the adulthood yet. So she is into that bracket where there are so many changes that are taking place within her body. So if she eats, it is said that if she eats more of chocolate, she could develop more pimples. She could develop more of acne. Will you please look at me when I'm speaking to you, Amanda? Now, when someone is scolding, you tend to look here and there. But the mother wants the little girl, to look at her. When she is being instructed, the mother wants her to listen to her carefully. That is why the mother wants her to look at her, so that she is listening. The mother knows that she is listening. Amanda is listening to the mother properly. I am Rapunzel. I have not a care. Life in the tower is tranquil and rare. I'll certainly never let down my bright hair. Stop that sulking at once, Amanda. You're always so moody, Amanda. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. So in this stanza, again, Amanda is thinking. So she is thinking that she is Rapunzel, a fairy tale character with very long golden hair, who is alone in a tower where she is she's into captivity. She's kept into captivity by a witch. Now she wants to be Rapunzel. She wants to live like Rapunzel. She thinks that she is imagining, Amanda is imagining that she is Rapunzel, and I have not a care, and she doesn't care about anything that whatever is going on. Now she wants to be Rapunzel and live in a tower, and the life there would be very calm and quiet. It would be a very different sort of a life that she wants to live in. And as Rapunzel let her long hair down from the tower window for a prince to come and rescue her, Amanda says that she does not want to let her bright hair down. She does not want to let anyone come for her rescue, for her help. So then again her mother is like, she's again commanding her, she's again telling her what to do. Stop that sulking at once, Amanda. Sulking means in a bad mood. Stop being in a bad mood, because Amanda is being scolded, she is being nagged, she is being told what to do by her mother again and again. So there are these face expressions that are there with her, and by that her mother comes to know that she is now in a bad mood. So stop that sulking at once, Amanda. You are always so moody, Amanda. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. So the mother is saying that stop being like this now. Stop cribbing now. Stop changing your mood. Stop being in a bad mood now. Here the mother shows that this is how we see that her mother is very dominating. She has a very dominating nature. She is constantly nagging Amanda, but she does not want others to see or know about it. And she is harassing. She does not want others to know that she is harassing the little girl. She is telling the little girl what to do, what not to do. And because of that, the little girl's mood is getting bad. She is getting angry and irritated now. So the mother does not want the rest of the world to know about this. So the poetic device that we have in this poem are repetition. The word Amanda is being repeated again and again. So it is repetition there. Allusion is there. Like me, Amanda is comparing herself with the mermaid, Rapunzel. So this is allusion there. Then is alliteration, stop dead sulking, repetition of the word is there, anaphora is there, and assonance is there. If you want to know further more about these poetic devices, there are videos on my channel. You can just go through them. This will make the poetic devices more clear to you. So now let's conclude the poem. In this poem, the exact mental state of every child who is growing up is depicted very well. The process is more difficult for girls than for boys because they are expected to follow certain society norms and practice them while they are growing up. This is quite an irritating process and is depicted very well in the poem. So that's all for today, students. Hope you understood the poem well. If you have any queries, you can comment it down below. Also, the PowerPoint can be referred to as notes and is available in the description box. More videos to be out soon. Till then, take care. Happy learning. Bye-bye.